So inshallah, now we come to the comparison. We can do the comparison compared to the somebody who before say and get Islamic education. He understand what Islam and in they implement them. Compare to somebody who before say he don't understand what Islam. He only focus on the English education. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in tell me inside Surah Al-Zumar, there is a question in Surah Al-Zumar where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَمَّنْ هُوَ قَانِتٌ آنَاءَ اللَّيْلِ سَاجِدًا وَقَائِمًا يَحْذَرُ الْآخِرَةَ وَيَرْجُو رَحْمَةَ رَبِّهِ قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ إِنَّمَا يَتَذَكَّرُ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. My beloved brothers and sisters, we only need the key point inside these verses. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He talk about many things them. But we only need the key point inside the verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they ask a question. قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. It will be equal. It will be compared to the somebody who before say he know, we understand, we get knowledge, compared to the one who before say he don't know. Subhanallah. Number one, this somebody of knowledge, the person who before say he gets knowledge, then tell me say this somebody in the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than everyone so far. This is now one advantage. Now one difference is this. This is one of the different we get. Subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, verily, surely, indeed, the people who before say among his slaves them, where they more fear to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where they get God consciousness to in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala among his slaves them, he say what's in al-ulama, and the people of knowledge. So my beloved brothers and sisters, make we give a compare to the somebody we don't know about the Lord. We just get some of the English. What did the English they teach we? And they teach you how to hack somebody account. The English way they put you picking, then they go teach you picking how you go able to transfer credit, how you go able to take in company in phone, you go tip the credit and send an new number. When you picking they go to school, then they teach how you go become proud. Subhanallah. But Quran teach we in a good manner. Subhanallah. In giving a good conduct, how to behave to others. Subhanallah. Quran tell me how to interact with people, with one another. But when you enter into the English need to teach people anything. The English only focus on this world. How you go able to enter into haram and achieve in this world, then you become a failure on the day of judgment. Now this only in English you teach you. But the Quran, in the give the reality of this life. The Quran, they give internal and external happiness. The Quran, in the first love that we had them. The Quran, in the show we how to become respectful to we parents them. The Quran, in the teach you how to respond to your teacher. The Quran, in the teach you how to be kind and good to people them. The Quran, in the teach you how to talk. Subhanallah. The Quran teach you how to eat in a good manner. But English, you know they enter an English school, you meet something that they only. They only teach you how you go become a thief man, subhanallah. How you go become a senior thief man, where you go ask people to account them. And this only they teach you. So Allah says, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, surely, verily, among the slaves them, the one them will get taqwa, where they get God consciousness, where they fear and most, not the ulamas them, not the one they will foresee them, know but Allah. We acquire the Islamic education. And number two differences. For you, the student, who before say you dey learn the Quran, compared to the one who person no learn the Quran, to the Muslim who learn the Quran, he just focus by the English education. Number two, they tell you say the person of Islamic education, where he learn the Quran, now the best at the world. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in telling a hadith, he said, "Khayrukum man ta'allama al-Quran wa 'allamahu." Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he tell you say the best among you now there's somebody who before say he learn the Quran and he implement it to others, he teach it to others. The Prophet not tell you say khayrukum man ta'allama. The Prophet not tell you say the best among una. Now the one who before say learn the English and the teacher to a company. The Prophet not tell you say the best among una the world. Now the one who has been integrated science and the teaching company. The Prophet not tell you say the best among una. Now the one who before say learn social study in teaching company. The Prophet not tell you say the best among una. Now the one who know about politics in teaching company. The Prophet not tell you say the best among una. Now the one who know about history, government and the teaching company. But in tell you say khayrukum man ta'allama al-Qur'ana wa 'allamahu. The best among una na the one who learn the Quran and the teaching company. Subhanallah. My beloved brothers and sisters, how you going to gain the paradise? How you going to achieve subhanallah in this one the year after? Make I just give now a short history of the Quran. The Quran what we neglect today. We are about the Injil, the Torah, the Zabur. But the Quran, when are the last among them, now it can become the best. The Quran, it can't undo in the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan, it becomes the best of all months. The Quran, it can't do in the night of Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr become the best night. The Quran can't do to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The prophets become the best. He become the best prophet among all the messengers. Angel Jibril, now they count wahyu, verses them from Allah to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Angel Jibril, where they count the wahyu, where they count the Quran, and become the best angel. The Quran incarnate to the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This ummah become the best of all ummah. My beloved parents, why would they neglect the Quran? Why we so focused on this worldly life? Why we so put with interest by the English? We don't abandon but the next world. We don't want to know about the next world. We dey only achieve na this world and the next world will become failure. Make we know say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell you say وَمَا هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. Allah said the life of this world, subhanallah, is not just a taste, a little enjoyment standing there. Allah the one way, in many verses them born. Allah tell me in Surah Al-Hadid, اعلموا أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب وله وزينة وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. My beloved parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say una know say una learn say this worldly life subhanallah is full of play. Yana inside where they can boast of. I get speaking where they oversee. Me I get money, I get this. Now the only enjoyment is but not long enjoyment, subhanallah. When they see many people them, when their parents them, they don't spend money for them from during the time of nursery. They go in the primary level, they go in the secondary level, they enter at the colleges, they do in the graduate, and that they die. So my beloved parents, waiting that you don't defend, when you go defend that picking the way you don't teach them what Islam. On the day of judgment, all the degrees them, you master them, when you don't get it, no go ask you what's them. They go ask you about Lord. So why we abandon the Quran? Why we don't take the other books them more important than the Quran? Why we don't make effort to make you pick in the land the Quran? Number 3 difference. They tell you say the person of the Quran, the somebody people say in the land but the Lord, the somebody people say they read the Quran, we learn the Quran, and they get one blessing for each letter we read, and that blessing they multiply for her into 10. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tell we say, Man qara'a harfan min kitabillah, falahu bihi hasana, wal hasanatu bi ashri amthaliha. La aqulu alif lam mim harf, walakin alifun harfun, wa lamun harfun. My beloved parents, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and tell we say, who that recite one great letter from the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And say this somebody else and they get 10 blessings. And they get one blessing, and that blessing they multiply into 10. When you say alif, just alif when you recite, you get 10 blessings. You say lam, you get 10 blessings. You say mim, you get 10 blessings. My beloved parents, integrated they give this kind of blessing. Social study they give this kind of blessing. Government they give this kind of blessing. History they give this kind of blessing. The masters where you don't get by political science, and they give you this kind of blessing. Only the Quran. Except the Quran, and they give you this kind of blessing. For make you get one great letter, you get 10 blessings. Why we abandon the Quran? As we know that Muslim them, we abandon the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.